And this is where I'm going to jump in and tell you my off-the-wall crazy theory.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Theory Time with Pleeka. I'm Jerome.
Nick?
Every fucking time, I almost call it the wrong podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're bringing you some theories that'll make your mind melt into mush, and you won't even be able to watch the finale of Westworld.
Well, that's not good.
So if you want to watch the finale... Actually, never mind. I'm not going to finish that
Yeah.
sentence. I was going to say, if you want to watch the finale, click off the video, but please don't. But yeah, so we're talking about a bunch of theories we have. This is probably the last Theory Time with Pleeka, unless there's a really cool end credit scene or some like cliffhangers in the last episode. But usually the one for like, what do we expect in season 4?
I think there's going to be
usually bullshit.
I think there's going to be some unanswered questions.
Yeah, but not like we're going to answer them.
Oh, we could try.
You think we're smart enough to be like, well, I think Caleb is actually...
Absolutely.
All right, well, we'll see. First one I got on here today is, speaking of possibly bullshit, Stubbs is going to turn out to actually be Ford.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
I saw that several times on Reddit, so I was like,
Wait,
okay.
am I supposed to pretend like I believe this?
Oh, wait, hold on here. I'll say it again. And then you give me a good reaction. Stubbs is actually Ford.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. I saw it would be neat. I get where they're coming from because he's like Ford made him way early on to protect all the hosts, and wouldn't it be smart if he just created a version of him to do that? But I don't think there's gonna be any twists where like, oh, this person is Anthony Hopkins. If anything, Anthony Hopkins is just gonna come back in some way, you know? If it was gonna be a twist like that,
and I don't think that's gonna happen either.
I feel like that's like a last season of the show or. It's something when they go back to Westworld. I don't think that'll be outside the park at all with him coming back.
Yeah, I don't either.
I honestly think Stubbs will die this season. Seems that way.
Yeah, I could see that. I definitely either die or just kind of like they don't have a thing for him. Like
Yeah, kind of like the Bernard's whole storyline this season.
A little bit.
I'm so disappointed in that.
Well, what's sad is that they had like this little buddy cop thing going.
Yeah, for like 2 minutes.
And then it was like kind of exciting.
And I was super excited because they had that idea.
Yeah, I was like,
they were going to do with William, and then he's like, no, fuck you, I'm killing all you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, William. Don't be such a prick.
Come on, Caleb. I mean, William.
But aside to this, there's also another theory with Stubbs. So the people either think he's Ford or he's the other spy that Sirach's been talking about. Remember he was talking to Charlotte Hale, and he's like, you're not the only one that's been giving me information.
Oh.
So people think that it's been Stubbs.
I don't remember Srock saying that. Are you sure he said it?
Yeah, he says it in episode 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you. I just don't remember it. I don't think I believe that Stubbs would be the spy either.
The only thing that makes sense to me for that is that no one else makes sense for them to be a spy. William's last name is actually Nichols. And this goes off of two. One, everyone thinks they're connected. But now we've seen that Caleb and William have the exact same ID number. And I know you keep telling me they read it on their podcast. They're fucking wrong on the Ringer all the time. I read it. It's the exact same number.
Really?
I'll pull it up right now. All right, so their numbers are Patient U, M27021001912B. That's Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And it says U, M27021001912B. It's the exact same number.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's because, like you've said, I think you said this on Replicables, maybe. Not Replicable, on Random Ramblings, or maybe just we were passing by each other in the hallway. Something you've said that maybe the information that William sold was just his own information from Delos.
Okay. I didn't know where you were going with that.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if to fix Caleb, they used William's DNA almost, or his code.
I don't think just him, though. I think if they did that, I think it'd be everybody down there has Williams' DNA.
They all, yeah.
So
but he's the only one that's kind of worked on.
The only confusing thing about that would be is if you're getting this concluded from that, then what's the point of putting ID numbers on everybody if they're all the exact same ID number? Like, oh, come here, patient B. All right, next, patient B, come in here. All right, then patient B, why don't you come in here?
It's not patient B, it's patient.
Yeah, no.
Read that off.
I already got rid of it.
Oh.
But, so it would be confusing to do that, so I think it has to be more than that, I feel like.
Yeah. Although I don't think anyone's calling in those patients.
To test him, you have to. To decide if they're going to be down there, yeah. To see if his DNA worked in them, you have to.
But who was the patient first?
Obviously, well, no, obviously Caleb, but they just took his DNA.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So like his patient number, like if Man in Black's number is the same as Caleb, it's actually Caleb that got the number first.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird too.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's definitely too long of a number to be a coincidence.
Yeah,
It's not like
they
it's
deliberately did that.
Just like they deliberately did it with what's her name?
With Clementine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's something to that I don't know what it means. I would like if they're connected, if they're blood related, or what they're going to do, if this is a clone of William that they've just made look different, or whatever their plan is. We've also always assumed that he was going to be some kind of William role, maybe not be William, but because Aaron Paul was supposed to be cast in season 1, but then things fell through because he was doing I think it was doing Need for Speed or something.
Right.
And we assumed if he's going to get cast in it, he was going to be the Jimmy Simpson role. That would just make sense.
Yeah, kind of.
So, I don't know. I don't know at all what that means, but I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, part of me thinks that like whatever they did to him when they fixed him
Has to do with
has to do with that, but it doesn't really make 100% sense in my head. Do you know what I mean?
I get that, and also like if they use that to fix him, and that's why they ID'd him that way. Unless
he like say he sold them all the information, and they just happened to use William's information for Caleb, and they didn't. They used other people's information for other people, like maybe because they were both like similar, or
but
like.
Why do you think the ID numbers are the same though?
That I don't know. Maybe it's a misprint.
I doubt that.
Maybe he was the next one, and they just accidentally stamped it.
I doubt the next one 30 years later
Well,
or
they
whatever.
stopped doing it. No, I don't know.
But yeah, so that's all I got for that. I just thought that was very interesting.
His last name being Nichols
like
is interesting because, I mean, he's the only one without a last name.
Yeah. And what's weird is even when you see his screen, you don't see his name on there. And if it does, it just says William.
Yeah,
for Caleb, when you see
I've
it,
heard
it says Caleb
I've heard the
Nichols.
theory where that like maybe Caleb's in a simulation but he's like the Man in Black and it just went completely crazy.
Different, like he looks different. Yeah, I'm kind of sick of the simulation stuff.
I'm a little sick of it too.
But I mean, if it comes out to be true, cool. Like I'm not for it or against it. I'm just sick of that being the only thing people talk about.
Yeah, you know what I forgot about is the whole double video with Charlotte Hale.
Yeah, the same guy I watched that brought up this ID number. He brought up that too and showed it all and all that. And yeah, I'm still confused about that too, if that's a thing or not. Because watching it originally, I was just like, oh, they're showing the longer version of it because they condensed it the second time. But then you're like, oh, it's Westworld. They probably didn't do that.
Right.
So I don't know about that either.
A lot of people think maybe that there's two Charlottes and one's in a simulation.
I've seen that. One's the original one that left the park with Dolores in her, and then the other one's the one that Dolores made. I've also seen a big theory online that, you remember in the beginning of this last episode, Musashi is like, oh, we have a connection in Berlin, blah, blah, blah. That the Berlin is actually the real Dolores, and these are all the copies that she sent over here as distractions, and then she's going to come in at the end for whatever.
Oh,
but
really?
the Berlin thing is the actual Dolores. And some people also think it could be Teddy. But
Teddy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. You know what I also thought about? And I was like, oh, this is kind of a plot hole. Or it's, I don't know, it could be they did this on purpose, but it doesn't make sense to me. Remember in season 2, they blew up the cradle, and they blew it up because now the hosts have stakes, and they could really die, blah, 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 blah. But now they just die, and they're like, okay, we'll put that pearl in a new body. So no, it's like the same fucking thing. I know it's sort of their pearls got destroyed, they're dead, but you're still, like, if I get killed, you can't just put my brain in another body and go, skiddly-doo, he's alive again.
You're not a host.
But that was their whole point, was to make them, like, have risks and be like humans and see now this is our one life and we're gonna like make our own choices. And they're like, yeah, but if you kill me, I'll just get a new body. And then Dolores is like, I'll just make 6 bodies actually.
But like Hector's not coming back.
Yeah, but it's because his thing got destroyed. But that wasn't what they said.
No, I know. It was because, but isn't that just for the hosts that are? I don't know. I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But like, didn't like Dolores make Bernard from memory?
It's like she said she made him from memory, but like she had his pearl there. I don't think she made a brand new pearl for him. And then she adjusted it. See, that's where it gets confusing. Because if she did just make it from memory and made a whole new pearl, then where's the fuck the original Bernard pearl? Is that just sitting in the forge down below?
They burned it last episode.
He wasn't down there. He's dead in the forge. With Dolores' body and Charlotte Hale's body.
Yeah.
If she didn't take his pearl.
Yeah, but they can't just leave those bodies down. They get stinky.
But they didn't know where they were. Like, the other people don't know where, so no one's going to go down there.
Ever?
I don't, but like, that's the stuff that gets really confusing to me.
I don't think about that shit.
Because also, if they burned the last episode, why are they looking for him to blame Westworld for it then? Like, the massacre.
Oh, that's true. They haven't found his body
Yeah,
yet.
because it's dead in the forge. With potentially a pearl in it. So another thing I have here, this is where it gets all, I was just saying I'm sick of this and I'm adding a theory to it, but I saw this and I thought, this is interesting. I think very unlikely, but interesting.
Okay.
Dolores is in the mirror world and using Caleb to cause so much trouble that it freezes and crashes the mirror world, just like Maeve did in Warworld. So everything we're seeing with them isn't actually happening in the real world, and that's what's been kind of weird this season, is because it's in the mirror universe, and she's going to crash and everyone's going to freeze in this finale with all this chaos going on. And that'll be the reveal of that.
I've heard that too. That's what she's trying to do is stop the simulation.
Because that'll break where he belongs, and then she'll get out, and she's like, "Okay, cool, I can be in the real world now."
I also heard that maybe like Solomon's the real thing, and there is no Sirach or Rehoboam.
Oh, really? Like, what would that be?
Like that's just his creation in the simulation.
Oh,
So like that's, but I don't really believe
that's like the antivirus protection.
The only problem, yeah, kind of. So like the only problem with all of that is they only have 62 minutes to be like, okay, here's the mirror world, and now here's where
See,
we
but they don't even have to do that. Like I know you're like ask the question to get it, because all they have to do is make everybody freeze, and you're like, oh, she did what Maeve did in Warworld, and then they gotta make it go. Have the little bars on the screen, and that'll happen. And then Dolores unplugs herself from the thing, just like Bernard did in season 2. I don't think they have to, like, they can just show shit like that, and then people will pick up the clues, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that'd be very easy to figure out through there.
I mean, you're right, but I guess it'll be interesting to see how this episode lands, because it could go a number of different ways, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, to me, it's either they are in a simulation, they destroy the universe or the world, or they don't, and like they're gonna take a park or something. I feel like there's like a couple different routes they can go like that.
If I was to guess, I'd say that they're not in a simulation.
I would say I think if they are doing this mirror universe thing, this is the way to do it, is like crash and reveal it that way, and then you're like, oh shit, and then stuff like that. Like that's probably the best way to go about that, at least that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Well, I was listening to that podcast, and they were like, "It's got to be a simulation." They get to the gas station. There's a phone booth there. Why is there a phone booth in 2058? Which is true.
But it is a pretty abandoned town. Look like pretty old one downtown.
Yeah, I mean,
like something out of Friday the 13th. They pull up to get gas.
But
and
then
killed.
the first thing I thought of, if you're making a simulation, you don't put an old phone booth there.
Yeah, because then people are gonna show up and going, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, that a simulation should be perfect.
Yeah.
Or
as close to perfect.
Look perfect.
Yeah.
It may not be perfect when you interact with it, but
it
it should look good.
even the thing that's making the simulations doesn't even know if he's in one or not. That's how perfect they are. Solomon's like, am I in the real world? Where am I? Like, if he makes them and can't figure it out.
Is this now?
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. I almost feel like they made that guy in episode 2 say the simulation stuff just to fuck with
Was it the
everybody.
first episode?
Was it the first episode?
Yeah.
I thought that was episode 2.
No, it's the first one. She goes to meet Liam Dempsey Jr. for the first time.
I'm kind of like, it's like 50-50 on it. Like, part of me is like, oh, so they just told us in the beginning that it's a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was just never a simulation. They were just wanted us to think it was.
Yeah. That's what I thought when we first heard that. I was like, okay, well, they're either telling us right now, hey, fuckers, stuff's not going to be real, or they're like, don't theorize on that. That's not a thing, because they figured people would. It's one or the other.
Right.
This one, it's not really a theory unless you have an idea for this, but I noticed this in a trailer, and I was like, oh, we haven't seen this yet. There's another scene with Francis. So, I don't know when this would line up because according to what it sounded, they were in the war. They got out of the war instantly, started doing the RICO app, and he got killed and all that. Obviously, there were some time periods in there, but he's in jail, has an orange jumpsuit on, and Caleb's on the other end.
Oh.
But so I mean, Caleb does have his shaved head in there, I believe, in that thing. So it looks like Caleb from when he's sitting on the pier about to kill himself and jump off or whatever. So it would fit this whole flashback stuff if he still wants to see him get shot in the head. So this would make sense if something happens to Francis like that, shoots himself in the head, and I don't know where they go from here. Like, is Francis not really dead and this is another memory he's having, or is, you know what I mean? Because it didn't seem like he shot himself in the head and then went into the RICO app shit with Sirach's men.
Right. I thought that bomb going off and him getting all the shrapnel in his head, I thought that's what he meant by getting shot in the head.
You thought someone placed a gun in my head and shot?
No, I just thought, okay, I've had a gun in my head before.
You thought there was two different situations?
But yeah.
No, I don't think.
You're probably right, but that's what I was thinking. Like when I said, I was like, oh, there's
like, think about it this way: you're like, I've kissed a dude and I've had a finger in my ass. But if I just like cupped your butt cheek, you're not gonna say I fingered your ass. You're not gonna go around telling people that. But if I did go whoop inside, then you're like, he did. So Caleb isn't gonna go, I had a gun to my head and was shot in the head. If just a piece of shrapnel went and hit him in the side of the head right there.
It was from a bomb.
Yeah, the bomb doesn't have a gun going. It didn't go. Bombs don't do that.
Could you do that one more time?
But that doesn't happen. So I think I think he might. I just don't know where it fits in his timeline of Francis being in jail, him sitting on because like I brought this up on Random Ramblings. Like clearly him sitting on the pier and all that is a flashback. Because every time he's having flashbacks, he sees the water and sees the pier, and no one ever has flashbacks seeing their future. I think.
What about Nostradamus?
I'm gonna jump over this table.
Yeah, I don't
and
think you
fucking
could.
pound you right in the fucking nipples.
I don't think you could jump over
I
this
could,
table.
but don't you think? So what do you think about everything I just said?
It's a lot of nonsense. No, I don't know. It must just be another flashback. Maybe before they went to. Maybe that's why.
Like they got honorably discharged. Something happens. He got arrested, and then Sirach's men are like, "Hey, little boy, want to come do some RICO?" You think like that?
That, or maybe that's why they went to. Maybe they got in trouble and they're like, "All right, well, off the war you go."
No, but Aaron Paul's not in an orange jumpsuit. He's on the other end of the thing, talking to him. He's visiting him.
Well, that doesn't mean he didn't do it.
But he didn't get him caught.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's not what I'm saying. Maybe that's why Francis went there.
And then Caleb shoots himself in the head, and they're like, tried to kill himself. Maybe he should be in the program too.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
It's weird though that we wouldn't get that when he's getting the origin of him being in the program. They wouldn't say, "Hey, this is what put you in there." If that's the case, Like if there's a whole episode that he's getting flashbacks, he sees himself in war, he sees himself kill his friend there, they erase his memories, he's not going to get the flashback of why he was in there,
I mean, there's a lot of shit we don't know about him. Like, I mean, do you think that's really his mom?
I do. I think there's some twist to it. I think honestly she's just taking those things and just forgetting.
Oh, really?
I don't think there's much else to it than that. Because I know everybody thinks, oh, he's in a new body because his mom doesn't recognize him. But sometimes moms are crazy and stupid. Let's just all be honest.
I know, my mom's crazy and stupid.
So...
yeah, it could be it could be anything. Like maybe Francis did something and he feels guilty for it. That's why he's going to, and then it's going to be a reveal and it has something to do with why they picked him. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, but I'm surprised.
The closest thing I thought of is, like you said, Francis did something and Caleb was involved. He feels guilty, goes and visits him, then goes and sits on his pier and shoots himself.
Oh, and
because he feels guilty because he did something that caused him to get arrested.
Okay, so let me get this.
But I just don't know where that leads him to getting into.
So when he
stuff.
said, "I've had a gun in my face," it was actually himself that put the gun in his face.
Yeah, and he's like, "Beat."
He's like,
"Beat you
hey,
to it."
I've had a gun in my face. You don't scare me.
Yeah, and the guy said, "Have you been shot in the face?" And he's like, "Yep, I did that too."
I mean, he could have killed himself or tried to and then missed, I guess.
And then when Dolores says, "Oh, you're gonna go here and do that," and he's like, "What? I wouldn't do that." It's because she already saw he already did, and she's not telling him his actual outcome. Which I have another theory. If you want to jump right into my next one,
Sure.
There's gonna be a 200-year time jump.
What?
Now I don't know. I didn't come up with this. This guy said it, but I picked it because it's kind of Planet of the Apes-y. But 200-year time jump. Caleb has destroyed the human race, so that's why when what's his face put on the things, he's like, "Oh shit, this guy's gonna fuck everything up," and you did it, and then people thought, "Oh, he's saying he did it because he's talking about Francis," but he's saying you did it. You followed this crazy bitch's plans and destroyed the whole world.
I like that better because that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Like, why would he care?
So there's a 200-year time jump. Caleb destroyed the human race, and Westworld is now being reopened with the hosts running the park, and the humans are now taking the host's spot in the park. So, like, down there, instead of, like, Dolores in a blue dress, some random human in a blue dress drops a paint can and all that stuff. So that's humans down there that are, like, people that, and the hosts are going there to, like, have a fun time.
That is Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. But I read that and I was like, oh, that'd be fucking cool. Like, I am assuming this is the end credit scene that this person is talking about.
That seems a little crazy.
It does. It seems like a lot to go on, but I was like, that would be kind of cool.
It's kind of cool on the other hand. I think he might have something with Caleb. But see, I don't think him destroying Solomon or Rehoboam is a big deal.
Well, because he destroyed them, and then he'd be the leader, like Dolores says.
Yeah.
But he's gonna lead them right to the trash. He's like, you know what? There's this new meth on the street. Hear me out. And they all start doing meth, and they all go downhill from there.
It's not a no, but so he destroys the two balls, and he helps Dolores. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
I don't think so either, potentially, but I think it could end up being bad if Dolores is in charge, because we know how wishy-washy her mind is.
I don't know that she's going to be in charge.
We don't know how wishy-washy she is. Sometimes she's like, I'm going to destroy the humans. Sometimes she's like, William, I love you.
I'm just telling you my opinion.
No, yeah, I get that. But that's all I have. So is there anything else that you've thought of, or unquestioned things that you want to bring up that need to be answered in the finale?
There's a lot of fucking questions in the finale.
Like,
I'm worried about
what the hell is Bernard gonna do?
Yeah.
What the hell is the Man in Black gonna actually do? Because I don't think he's gonna save the fucking world and kill all the hosts. You know, is Emily a host and real in the house?
Who's the fifth ball?
Who's the fifth ball? Some people keep bringing up six balls now. And I'm like, where are you getting this shit from?
Really?
Yeah. Who's the fifth ball? Could be Dolores in Berlin, who's the original ball, but you know,
she's like Hitler.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. She brings back Hitler.
Is Sirach real? Which everybody keeps saying this, and I'm like, are you guys forgetting that he shot someone in the head with Maeve, and then went behind and gave him a little back rub as the guy was dead while talking to Maeve? So I'm pretty sure he's real, unless their holograms are that good in the future that he could just like hold guns and shoot people.
Shoot people and put glasses on them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the glasses, they could be hologram glasses that led. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
No.
But that doesn't.
Maybe it's a hologram bullet.
I feel like he's clearly real.
But I think they think that was in a simulation. They took her out of the simulation.
I am going to really be annoyed, which I know it's a whole twist and blah, blah, blah. They're doing it on purpose. But if they keep, like, if they did it once with Maven, I was like, that was cool. But if they keep going where they're like, boom, show black bars, and like, now you're in a simulation. I'm like, well, you can't, because in the first season, it was pretty clear, oh, this is a flashback, it's got the bars, and it's different. And then it's not. And, like, they let that go on. And now they're going to keep revealing it and let you not know. Because I feel like that just makes you like not know the puzzle you're solving. If you're just seeing scenes that aren't real, but you're supposed to think they are until 4 episodes later when they show you they're not.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless they write it so masterfully that they reveal it's a simulation, and it's like, oh, that's so perfect. Okay, I excuse them for doing that because it's so good.
I think I'm worried about every finale in this show.
Yeah, and then the second it's over, you're like, they just ended there. I don't even need another season.
That'd be great.
You've done that 2 years in a row.
So I mean, we know there's going to be a couple more seasons. So
yeah.
I just sometimes they get so far out there. You're like, how are they going to reel this back in? But they always have.
The only I am. This is actually the first season that I'm a little worried about the finale, because
that's scary.
Because
you're kind of like the.
I usually blow the show, but this season. But if this finale isn't like has some great stuff going on, this will be. I love the show, but this will probably be the worst season of the 3.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this season.
But I really do enjoy it.
Yeah.
But what gives me a little bit of hope for the finale is that they wrote, at least outlined, but they say wrote this season the same time they wrote 3, and they got the idea, or it seemed that they wrote 1, and they got the idea after writing the pilot. So like they've been thinking about this season and this storyline for a long time now. So that's what gives me hope, is that they've been planting in seeds and shit, and it'll all make sense in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I'm holding out hope. I think that I'm a little worried because there's a lot of questions. But some of the questions...
Even like I said, the simulation one, they could reveal it so quick like that. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So, like, we're like, oh, they got to, like, answer all these questions. But most of the questions are from me and you and Reddit.
Yeah, some of them might not even actually be a question.
Right. Is
like,
Sirach real?
Is Sirach real? No one's ever asked that in the show. Is we in a simulation? No one's ever actually asked that until Solomon was like, hey, am I here? Which he's been sleeping in a room for, like, 10 years or so that's kind of forgiven. Like, a lot of these theories no one's even really asked.
Well, and I just thought that was kind of a callback to when Dolores...
Yeah, and I think Bernard, a couple of them, is this now? Bernard said that like 4 times last season.
Because they have all their memories, and they're looking through it. So he's
similar with the simulations.
Yeah, he's simulating things in the future and trying to... You know, if you look at 1,000 outcomes... I mean, more than that. You look at 1,000,000 outcomes of something, you're going to get...
Someone walks in and is like, hey, you want to tell me how... He's like, well, hold on. Where am I?
That would be fucking confusing.
Can you imagine if Hess
No.
was a people on?
No. Jesus. Talk about a catastrophe.
But is that it? Is that it for the show this week?
I guess so. There was no, like, mind-blowing.
What about Stubbs being Ford? That didn't go...
No.
Yeah, there's some good shit out there. Like, I thought interesting, like the end credits, you and Caleb, I thought that was really interesting.
So do you think, like, at the end of tomorrow night's episode, or whenever, like, do you think there's going to be, like, a winning team standing, or do you think there's going to be a lot left up in the air?
See, the problem with it is I always think about it as, like, a TV show. So I'm like, well, they're probably not going to get rid of Maeve. They're probably not going to get... So I'm like, there probably will be bits of people in each team still there because they need their characters for season 4 and 5 and 6 that they've already said are going to come. They've been renewed for 4. They're planned to do to 6. So I think about it that way.
They don't need Maeve for season 4.
I didn't think they needed Maeve for this season. But...
Some say that they may not.
So that's... I think about that. Like, they're not going to get rid of Bernard. They're not going to get rid of Dolores. I don't think they're going to get rid of William. So things like that, I'm like, yeah, there'll still be pieces all around. Like, there was a site, like Clementine, she's been gotten rid of like 4 times, so like they probably might get rid of her. People like Sirach, they can easily get rid
I don't know
of.
what you have against Clementine.
Well, she just hasn't had a major role yet. But I think about it that way, which is, that's just like my, like I'm watching like the finale of Flash, and like Barry's in trouble, and I'm not like, ooh, is the Flash gonna die?
Yeah, but that's different. It's called The Flash. It's not.
Or like
called...
Iris is trapped in Mirror World right now, and I'm like, oh, she'll be out by the end of the season.
Yeah.
So like, I to me, it's hard like to actually like, oh, I don't know about that, because I just think about it like a TV show. Like, they're gonna keep those characters.
Yeah, you said the same thing about Arrow this year.
No, Arrow this season, I was like, oh, anybody can die. That's why I was excited watching every episode, because I was like, they could actually get rid of people.
And then he died like 3 times.
Yeah, and then crossover, yeah, he did.
So there you go.
Yeah,
it was like Westworld.
A little bit.
No, I just think that. I don't know, with this show, I don't think that they need... Sure, I mean, I think they'll probably need Dolores next year.
And I probably also thought the same way about Game of Thrones, and then I saw Red Wedding, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong.
They need that Rob Stark for 8 more seasons.
But then also, like, Jon Snow died, and I don't remember if you told me at the time he's going to come back or not. But even then, I'm like, is he, though? Like, there's some people like that. Like, I never once thought that Maisie Williams would die in the show.
Oh. No, what about when she got stabbed in the gut? You were a little scared when she jumped in the water.
No, but yeah, I'm like, but are we really going to get rid of her? I know there's books, but come on.
Yeah, no, that one scared me a little bit.
The only one that I was worried is when the big war at night happened. I forget what that's called. The War of the White Walkers. And then you couldn't see anything, so I was like, did people die? I don't know. I can't see.
See, I was never worried about that, because there was...
I was beforehand, honestly. And then the second it started, I'm like, oh, no, this is just bullshit.
Yeah, well, because it was the pre-fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
no one's going to die. Fucking great. This is just stupid.
Yeah, I mean, a couple people died, but they didn't matter.
No one mattered.
Yeah.
Melisandre walked out and turned into a dust baby.
It's your dream come true.
Yeah. So you want to wrap this up, cowgirl?
Sure. Now that we're talking about Game of Thrones.
Well, that's it, everybody. Please like, subscribe, comment down below any theories you have on the finale of Season 3 of Westworld. And we'll see you guys next time for, I guess, the last attempt to go. I thought this would be the last one, but you think we can theorize after, so we'll see.
I don't know. It was a simple
No,
guess.
you greenlit it.